The Old Guard 2 has arrived, and it's bigger, bolder, and more explosive than ever. The Immortal Warriors return with brutal action, intense fight sequences, and high-stakes battles that span the globe. As past betrayals resurface and a powerful new enemy rises, the team must face their most dangerous mission yet. With fierce swordplay, close combat chaos, and heart-pounding twists, The Old Guard 2 delivers a relentless blend of emotion and adrenaline that raises the stakes far beyond the first film. Today, we're diving deep into the explosive ending of The Old Guard 2. But before we unravel the twists, let's rewind and explore where it all began with The Old Guard 2020. So let's dive in. The Old Guard 2020 explored. Andy, Booker, Joe, and Nikki are centuries-old warriors bound by a mysterious regenerative gift. After decades of hiding in the shadows and choosing missions carefully, they agree, reluctantly, to take on a job to rescue kidnapped girls in South Sudan. They are wary, as they have a strict rule: never work for the same employer twice. The mission is a trap. The team is ambushed and executed. But as always, they rise, bodies whole again. Unbeknownst to them, ex-CIA analyst James Copley orchestrated the betrayal. Suspecting their true nature, he secretly records the resurrection to confirm their immortality. Meanwhile, in Kandahar, Afghanistan, Marine Niall Freeman is killed during a raid, her throat brutally slit. Hours later, she wakes up fully healed. Terrified and confused, she is held by U.S. forces for evaluation. That night, she dreams of Andy and the others, screaming, bleeding, fighting. Across the globe, the Immortals also dream of her. Andy, who hasn't dreamed of a new Immortal in over 200 years, tracks Niall down and forcibly frees her from the military, promising answers, but offering few. Niall, angry and lost, fights her way back to her unit, but finds she is now feared and rejected. With no place left, she follows Andy to France. At a safe house, Niall meets Booker, a war-scarred nihilist from the Napoleonic era, and Joe and Nikki, two former enemies who fell in love during the Crusades. They explain that while they are immortal, the gift is finite. It fades without warning. They speak of quynh, who died centuries ago, and quynh, the first immortal found by Andy. Quynh was condemned as a witch and entombed in an Iron Maiden, thrown into the sea, never to stop drowning. Niall has seen her in dreams. Meanwhile, Copley hands over footage of the South Sudan ambush to Stephen Merrick, a powerful pharmaceutical mogul obsessed with unlocking the key to immortality at any cost. Merrick dispatches a strike team to capture the group. In a sudden ambush, Joe and Nikki are taken. Booker is badly injured and left behind, while Andy, who barely escapes with Niall, is wounded and discovers she is no longer healing. She hides this truth. The group regathers. Booker, consumed by grief for his family lost to time, bitterly reveals he secretly made a deal with Merrick, believing the company could use their DNA to find a cure for immortality. He betrays Andy, shooting her, and they are both captured. Niall, disillusioned by violence, tries to return home but discovers Copley's files, proving Merrick is less a scientist and more a sadist. His labs are black sites, and his goal is profit, not healing. Copley, haunted by his wife's death and guilt over selling out the team, has a change of heart. He helps Niall infiltrate Merrick's London lab, where Joe, Nikki, Andy, and Booker are now imprisoned and undergoing excruciating experiments. In a brutal assault, Niall frees the others. Andy, now mortal, still fights alongside them. In the final confrontation, Niall sacrifices herself by leaping out a window with Merrick, killing him. Thanks to her powers, she survives. In the aftermath, Booker is exiled from the group for 100 years for his betrayal. Andy, now mortal and for the first time in centuries unsure of her fate, passes leadership to Niall. The group embraces its new purpose, to shape the world from the shadows, with Copley as their strategist and handler. In Paris, 6 months later, Booker returns to his flat, only to find quynh, no longer drowning, no longer dreaming, standing before him. Her smile is unsettling. "We have so much to do," she whispers.
"Your hand isn't healing."
The Old Guard 2, 2025 Ashes of Eternity. Years after losing her immortality, Andy is learning to live as a mortal for the first time in centuries. She's slower. She bleeds. The scars don't fade anymore. But in a world that still needs saving, she continues to fight, alongside Niall, Joe, Nikki, and their analyst-turned-ally Copley. Together, They've become a ghost team, silencing wars, ending genocides, and vanishing before the smoke clears. At the heart of the chaos, Quynh, Andy's long-lost sister-in-arms, once believed lost to the sea for 500 years. Quynh was rescued not by chance, but by Discord, a shadowy immortal cloaked in ancient myth. It is soon revealed that Discord is the origin of all immortal bloodlines. Unlike Andy's crew, Discord has lived completely in the shadows, shaping world history through bloodshed and manipulation. Where Andy found meaning in protecting humanity, Discord found only bitterness and power. She has nursed Quynn's rage, twisting it into an ideology. Immortality should be earned, not given. Quynh, mentally scarred by centuries of drowning and rebirth, now believes Andy abandoned her.
Betrayed.
Forgotten, her grief has curdled into vengeance. In search of answers, the old guard seeks out Tua, an ageless monk-like immortal hiding in the ruins of Angkor Wat. Tua reveals a disturbing truth. Nile is the last, marked not just by shared dreams and matching birthmarks, but by destiny. Tua believes Nile is a breaker. Her presence signals the end of immortality. When a breaker injures an immortal, they begin to age and die. Booker quietly confesses to Tua that, years ago, Nile had wounded Andy during their first encounter, and shortly afterward, Andy lost her healing. Booker, still haunted by his betrayal and seeking redemption, offers himself as a test. In a staged sparring match, Nile wounds him, and slowly, his body fails to heal. But Booker tells no one. As Discord and Quynh prepare to unleash a second, larger attack, this time aiming to disrupt Earth's magnetic field and wipe out millions, Andy and her team infiltrate their hidden base. During the mission, Nile accidentally wounds Quynh, who immediately begins to deteriorate, her centuries of pain finally catching up to her. In a final moment of selflessness, Booker sacrifices his immortality to save Andy, transferring the spark back to her through an ancient ritual Tua guides. Andy begins to heal again for the first time in years, just in time to face the wrath of Discord. Booker dies in the ensuing chaos. His last words, "Protect her. She's the future." Nile, devastated, is captured with Joe, Nikki, and Copley. Discord takes them deep into a subterranean fortress built centuries ago beneath a forgotten mountain. She plans to siphon their powers, draining immortality itself, believing she can restart the world with only the worthy. Andy unexpectedly finds Quynh, hiding and wounded. No longer immortal, stripped of vengeance, Quynh has remembered who she once was, a protector, not a monster. The two former sisters confront their pain and forgive each other in a moving scene of quiet rage and sorrow. The movie ends on a high-stakes cliffhanger. Andy and Quynh, mortal and immortal, arm themselves for one final mission, to face Discord and save the old guard. The Old Guard 2, 2025, Ending Explained. In the last act of The Old Guard 2, Discord makes her move. One by one, she tracks down and captures the immortal mercenaries, Joe, Nikki, Nile, and Copley, freezing them and sealing them in body bags. But her plan isn't just about revenge. It's about survival. As the final confrontation unfolds, Andy squares off with Discord atop a helicopter and across a rain-soaked rooftop. It's during this brutal, high-stakes battle that Andy makes a shocking discovery. Discord is no longer healing. The so-called first immortal is now mortal and desperate. By capturing the old guard, Discord hopes to extract their powers and reclaim what she's lost. She escapes in a helicopter, taking the team with her and leaving a wounded Andy behind. Meanwhile, Quynh faces her own crisis. Standing over a nuclear detonator, she hesitates. Despite everything, she can't go through with mass destruction. The pain of the past hasn't completely erased the bond she once shared with Andy. In a heartfelt moment, the two former comrades reconcile. Their trust may be fragile, but their purpose is clear: rescue their team and stop Discord before it's too late. The film ends on a thrilling cliffhanger. Andy and Quynh, mortal and immortal, reluctantly team up once more to take on the most dangerous mission of their lives. So, what's next in The Old Guard 3? Will Discord regain her immortality? Can the team survive? And will Andy and Gwyn's fragile alliance hold together long enough to finish what they started?